Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. Live Music Nation podcast. I'm your host, Jake Gill. Festival edition. Today, we are with Miller's Rustic Sawmill, and they're the host. Melissa and her family are the host of Sawdust Festival. Melissa, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks to you. Thanks for letting me be on here.
Sure. Glad it worked out. So tell us a little bit, Melissa, about you and your family, and then let's talk about the sawmill and then how the festival came about.
Sure. We are a blended family. My husband and I have 6 kids between us. And my husband and I work here at the sawmill business. My husband had done tree work, logging, different things. He was a log buyer for years. And we just, whenever we got together back in 2012, 13, I guess it was 13, he had just started running the sawmill, and I saw some of the things that he was doing, and I was just like, oh my gosh, do you have any idea what this is? And we just kind of ran with it from there. We built a kiln and started the drying process to make the wood that we use in our business. We specialize in live edge wood. And we wanted to make it usable for end products like finish grade. So we researched all of that, built the kiln, and started having some little sales that we called slab sale Saturdays, and out in a 40 by 60 shed. And here we are. We're on our 3rd year in our space in town, where we have a live edge showroom that we specialize. We've just gotten better at it year by year. So
where did the idea for the festival start?
So the festival started, one of our son works for us, and we've got some younger guys that work for us. And as our business has grown, we have connected with a lot of makers, a lot of people that do really cool, amazing things with our wood. And then, they're always showing us these things. And we have a lot of followers across the country that make road trips here. And we decided that it would be kind of cool to have something that celebrated just the love of all things wood, because that's really what we're surrounded with every day. So it was kind of a brainchild of the guys. And of course, there were all kinds of funny things that came from that we thought we could do. But we really wanted to show off some of our makers. And we were also planning to introduce the belt sander races to our part of. So, once we named the festival, we came up with the name. The ideas just kind of started flowing from there. And the belt sander races was a great fit for that event to kick it off too.
Fantastic. Okay. So a couple of things. You want to throw in a little bit of information about the essential stencil that you have?
Oh, sure. Well, that is a stencil company that whenever we first started this business, we had a lot of wood. I was at the time, I was working, really about 3 other jobs. And so I was looking to make something, make up for an income so I could ditch one of my jobs. And I happened across, this stencil company. I was looking to have some paint parties and stuff like that with our wood. And I needed something that I could use and that was, durable, that I didn't have to throw away whenever I was done. So I found these reusable stencils and I incorporated those into our business and started having some paint parties. And now I am a content creator. I do videos for them weekly. I've been doing that for about 3 years, going on my 4th year. So that has been an unusual merriment that I never expected to happen with our sawmill.
Absolutely.
I had all these great pieces of wood, and I wanted to make something with them. And a lot of people were using crickets and vinyl, and I couldn't really get the vinyl to stick to the wood very well in order to get other people to use it at parties. And I had people that wanted to make signs. So I had to find a solution. And from that solution came another job.
Yeah. No, for sure. Okay,
Yeah.
so the festival, let's talk a little bit about when is that festival?
So we will have our second one. It's actually Father's Day weekend. So it will
Okay.
be June 17th this year. We thought, a lot of times the idea also came from the fact that a lot of the events and the places that people travel to are usually chosen by women in the family. And believe it or not, the majority of our followers are actually females. But there are, we have a lot of guys, and we think of the guys were like, well, we need something for the guys to get into. So we thought, what if we kind of picked something that would be family friendly, but also oriented towards men and geared towards men? That was kind of our target market that we were trying to find something. And, on Father's Day, us females are always like, well, what are we going to go do that dad might like, or the guy, a guy might like? And that's sometimes a challenge to find something for, a family to go do. And there's this awesome car show that happens on that same weekend, on that Sunday. It's been in existence for as long as I'm 48 years old, and I used to go to it whenever I was a kid. So it was always known as the Father's Day car show. And so why don't we have another event the day before that? And then if somebody wants to come in and make a weekend of this, they're here for the weekend. And, it's all definitely geared towards dads and men. And we had a great turnout. Our first year, it was fantastic. We invited guest demonstrators to come that were they're our customers, and they've become our friends. Most of our customers all become our friends over time. So we had a chainsaw artist, we had a scroll saw artist, we had a luthier who makes instruments. He's a local guy. We had a Reiku firing. He's also from this town. He did firing of pottery outside. Knife maker. We had a wood burner, pyrographer, and then we had, I think I said scroll saw artist and a painter. So we had 7 guest demonstrators all demonstrating the things that they make, and most of them use all of our wood. So
very cool, very cool. So somebody steps on site for this festival, this event. What are they going to see? What are they going to smell? What are they going to hear?
Well, they're hopefully going to hear a chainsaw,
yep.
which is the chainsaw artist. They're going to step into a tiny, small town, right? Our town population is just a small rural community, and we've got one little main street. So they're going to come in, and they're going to see fire with the pottery. The knife maker was also doing blacksmithing. Those things were happening out on the street. They hear the sounds of some belt sanders practicing for the belt sander race, where we're hoping to add maybe a game or two this year. We had a beard contest last year too, but they're going to definitely smell sawdust. They're going to, hear sounds that are related to the wood. They might step into our shop and hear the scroll saw buzzing. And then also hear some instrument sounds from the luthier, who makes, beautiful wooden instruments, ships them all over the world. And they're going to feel like family. That was one of the best compliments, I think, last year for our event. One of our makers said that he had the best day in our little town, and it reminded him of what his hometown was whenever he was growing up and he was like a child. So, it was exactly what we were intending and hoping for. There are other shops in our right, across from us that are open as well, and they're all just so welcoming. So I expect people to feel welcomed. I expect people to feel like family whenever they step into our area and into our business and into our event. It's definitely family friendly. It's just I don't know, we weren't sure what to expect, but it definitely exceeded all of our expectations last year, and we were really sad that it was over. We had a VIP night the night before. We had a private dinner, and we had live music at that VIP night. And some of our great friends had the band, and it just felt like a great family dinner. So
that's perfect.
yeah.
So your thoughts for the future, is this something that obviously you want to see happen again. Do you envision this expanding? Do you envision, like, do you have a plan for the future?
You know, well, we do, you know, we do and we don't. This year, so last year, this is kind of, you know, last year our belt sander race, that was the first time we'd ever had one. So we're hoping to grow the audience also with the belt sander races and capture attention with that. We would love for that to be a bigger thing. We are racing the belt sanders every third Saturday. Last year we had to set up, we had 100-foot track. We had to set that up on the street. This year, I think we'll have a permanent location for it. You know, after the first year, you always assess some things, and you know, I think that, you know, there are some things that we would like to add to our guest demonstrators. I think that we plan to maybe add 3 more, maybe top those out at an even 10 guest demonstrators.
Right.
And, you know, I mean, we couldn't believe the turnout the first year. We counted in our little town, we probably had easily 500 people or more. And it was just really special. We would like to add some live music and kind of an after party. You know, I think we foresee that in the future.
Sure.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. What was the feedback on having it on Father's Day weekend? What was that feedback like?
I think that the feedback fit exactly kind of what we had expected.
Okay.
Being the first year, not a lot of people realized it, but if we can establish that as a Father's Day weekend event, I think that will only gain that momentum. There were a lot of families that came. There were, you know, because there was also something for the kids to do. So,
Sure.
you know, it's Father's weekend. You know, we did have some people that stayed in the area. We had several out-of-staters, and some of them even went to the car show the next day. So I think the feedback from that was great. You know, I'd say that there was only one part. So we tried to do what we thought might be something that might go over really well. We tried some sawmill style games. We kind of worked with the local schools to have some kids benefit from that for fundraising efforts.
I envision loss of fingers and limbs.
No. Well, so you can imagine the games that the guys tried to get us to have, right?
Oh, I'm like, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, no, you know, we can't do that. So we actually did come up with some that were very kid friendly, to believe it or not. Like we did log rolling.
Sure.
And we had like a ring toss on a tree, you know, big limb, and we had a wood chuck where the kids or adults, they were geared. We wanted to make them geared for kids if they needed help, but for also adults, like log chucking through a tire. But they weren't a huge hit. So, you know, I think we'll probably, you know, maybe do something else this year. I've got some other ideas up our sleeves. So, yeah, we hope it only grows and gets more well known around, you know, the country.
Oh, I think I think it will. Just weather the storm. You're definitely onto something great. That's for sure. That's for sure. Very good. Okay, so 2 questions that I always ask, because I'm in live entertainment and live music full time. So I always ask these 2 questions. First being, Melissa, what is the best concert that you've ever seen your entire life?
The best.
The best.
Honest, probably Sugarland.
Okay, perfect.
Very theatrical, very unexpected.
Yeah. Lots of I saw Sugarland a couple of times. Yeah, lots of you just wanted to say the word tension. There's a lot of romance in that set. Yeah, very good. Okay. Dead or alive, one act you could bring to Sawmill Fest. Dead or alive, money not an issue. Who would you bring?
Well, I knew, you know, I thought about this. Who would I bring? Man, this is crazy. I've got some for alive, but definitely dead. I have Elvis Presley.
Yeah, no, that would be great. That would be fantastic. That'd be fantastic. Melissa, how do people find out? Now, listen, they're gonna want to know 2 things. They're gonna know how they find out more about your sawmill and your products, And then also, how do they find out more about your festival?
Sure. So we have a website. It's millersrusticsawmill.com. Then we are on social media. On Facebook, you can find us at Miller's Rustic Sawmill, and the same on Instagram. Those are the two social medias that I hang out on. And anyone's welcome to message us. My phone number is on there. It's not a business phone. The business phone is my cell phone. So
there you go. There you go. Melissa Miller, thank you for joining us. I appreciate you guys, and good luck in your future.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine.